Success is an achievement of goal or an aim. It supports good and bad equally. It doesn't show any partiality. It's because the good people aims for something and the result whatever they achieve may be good. Bad people may aim for something bad and finally the result which shows it's a success. So the success whichever appears either in good or bad, it's nothing a result of hard work, commitment, responsibility. It can be positive thinking or any negative thinking, and it's nothing but courage, faith, discipline, desire, good character. It can be good character or bad character, but the finally whichever result they are getting, it is the success. So it equally treats. So sure, there are many great personalities in which they have, in spite of being disabled, they have reached heights. So the qualities in them, they have aimed for a goal in which they have achieved a lot with determination, confidence, willpower, dedication, discipline, like that. So sure, generally, the qualities required for a person to become successful, as you people are aware, here it's nothing but discipline, courage, faith that things will happen, positive thinking, and responsibility, hard work, commitment, desire, like that. So these qualities make a person highly successful. So here, I'm going to say a story about person is disabled. His name is Nicholas James Nick Vujicic. So he's an inspiration to the all over the world, to the people all over the world with his great qualities like faith, willpower, and perseverance. Even though he is disabled, his disability doesn't stop him from doing what he has wanted to do. So here I want to convey his biography through a lesson of attitude is altitude. So here, imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning to help you scratch that itch, to allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. So here, what does it mean? It's meant that, suppose imagine that now you're having holy hands and legs, everything you're having on to do your things like. Suppose imagine you don't have any arms. You wake up in the morning and you feel that you doesn't have any arms, either to stretch in the morning, to stretch isn't yawning, like after yawning, while yawning you just stretch your hands, everything, your body, everything like. And to scratch anything we require arms, and in order to wrap ourselves around our loved ones we require arms. Suppose imagine that you don't have that. Imagine your situation. Now you have everything to feel very happy, to do everything, but imagine about the people who doesn't have hands and legs. So imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street, to walk, or run, to bicycle or skateboard, or get you from point A to point B. So here it's meant that, suppose if you don't have legs, see generally while kids are playing on, they just kick the pebbles on the ground or on the road they are moving on. And if there are no legs, how they'll walk, how they'll run, how they'll bicycle, how they'll skateboard, and how they'll reach from one point to another. So sure, have you heard something like that before? May or may not. Because we may have seen or we may not have seen. Few may have seen or may not have seen. So few may have seen the handicapped people, persons in which they don't have either legs or hands. They are disabled. They were unable to do things. They require some support to do the things. So they were unable to do it by their own. So when you look at them, do you feel sad? Do you feel pity for them? Yeah, of course, we do feel sad and we feel pity, and we will be very grateful for the God for giving us hands and legs. Now, here, this is the story of Nick Vujicic, who has faced his whole life with a lot of problems. So, Nick Vujicic, he was born with no arms and legs, but he doesn't let the details stop him. The details, in sense, the things, no arms and legs, didn't stop him from becoming successful because the brave 26-year-old, who's mainly a torso, plays football and golf, swims and surfs despite having no limbs. So here, this 26-year-old guy, he's a torso. He doesn't have arms and legs, but still he plays football, golf, swims, surfs despite having no limbs. Now we are having everything. Are we able to play football, golf, swim, surf? No, maybe few, but maybe among the few also only few games they'll be able to play. But in spite of having no legs and arms, he was able to play all this and do it successfully. So Nick has a small foot on his left hip which helps him balance and enables him to kick. He uses one foot to type, write with the pen, and pick things up between his toes. So here he has a small foot on his left hip, so which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So he uses one foot to type, to write with pen, and pick things between his toes. See, generally, how do you type? How do you write? You write with your hand. You type with your hand and you pick things with your hands. But here, he doesn't have hands and legs, but he has a small foot. So he picked things up between his toes. With that foot and the toes present, with those toes, he tries to pick the things. He learned to write. Imagine yourself being in that state. How would you feel? Will you be able to do? Just imagine. I call it my chicken drumstick. I call it my chicken drumstick, joked Nick, who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. I'd be lost without it. So he was just saying, I call it my chicken drumstick. What is chicken drumstick? It's a small foot present on his left hip. So with help of that, he was able to write, type, and pick the things. So he was saying that if it wasn't present in my body, I would be lost. I would be nowhere here. So he was born in Melbourne, Australia, and now at present he lives in Los Angeles. So let us continue. All attitude is altered in another episode.